Ladies and gentlemen, I know it's been a little bit since we've been together, but over the past weekend, all three of us, well, all four of us, was out there doing our thing. Marky Mark was representing the Cosmic Portal with the newly dubbed Virginia Nerd Alliance, and of course, Big L was out doing his thing, hence the new hat. So, without further ado, I turn it over to your host for this show of the Fellowship of Fandom, Mr. Marky Mark, and the rest of the guys.
Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us tonight from the Cosmic Portal. So I wanted to get together with my boys here to talk about the cons that we experienced this weekend. Now, at the time, Jedi Joe and Rob and I were at the Chesapeake Horror Convention, which was held at the Chesapeake Central Library. And then we have Big L that was down at, I think that was, where were you at, Big L?
Myrtle Beach
at a convention as well. So we wanted to take a few minutes to let you know exactly what went on. I'm going to start off with Jedi Joe first because he had a table and a panel at the horror convention. Monster Con is what I think it's called. And then Rob, or our Imperial Renegade leader, he also had a table and he was selling a few merchandise while he was out there as well. We got a chance to sit down with his table also. So Jedi Joe, would you let us know exactly what happened over the weekend, how you felt about everything?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys for being a part of this with me. And thank you for getting us out here and doing this all together. So Monster Fest is an annual horror convention. It's very small, but it has a very big local impact. And the people, Rob and Phyllis Floyd, runs it every year. So it's like your typical horror convention. You have your ghosts and goblins and everything there. And for me, for the first time, I got surprised and they gave me 2 tables. I wasn't actually really wanting 2 tables, but I made it useful enough and did it and got it going. Also, I did a little cosplaying that past weekend. I was doing the Joker. And to some of y'all that know, I just recently, about 2 years ago, started doing the Joker. And this year was a little bit better, I think. I had a few more cosplay stuff with me. So that was pretty cool. But Monster Fest, like I said, is a free event. It is a library con, so you would go to the Chesapeake Central Library. That's here in Virginia, and you basically walked around. There were vendors, there were fan groups. There were all sorts of different things in the horror community. Now, obviously, we're not exactly horror, but I respect the genre and enjoyed it. Also, guys, I did a panel, which most time Mr. Rob Floyd will ask me, "Hey, Alan, what do you got for a panel?" And I must say, I had a handful of people, including Mr. Marky Mark and his lovely wife, with me. And it was like a small round table. It was just basically a discussion of horror flicks between the past, present, and what our future horror was to be. And so it was just it was about an hour of just us discussing past, present, and future. That's about it. I can't say that it was mind blowing because I wish it was more people in there, and I wish I had the opportunity to spend some more time in it. But unfortunately, that didn't work out for me. But what I would like to say, as far as the panels is concerned, was something that I did go in and watch. And Mr. James Allen Ford, he also is known as Butch. He's been in the convention scene for quite a few years, and he had a panel called basically the fandom groups, the history of fandoms in this area. Now, guys, what we do here, we're just young people that's following other ideas. I saw footage from the 1960s and 70s. Back then, they advertised their group by a flyer. They got together for every little thing possible, and they liked to party. So that's what I thought was very interesting. They like to party, and here we are. We're a bunch of nerds and geeks, and they enjoyed partying. They loved their fandoms and everything, and uh, they had some wonderful guests over the last, I guess you could say, almost 40 or 50 years. And we're a part of that. The Cosmic Portal, Geek Fandoms NC, Virginia Nerd Alliance. I mean, the pathway has already been, made for us. And it's just great to be a part of that. I call it legacy. So Mr. Alan Ford, or Butch, asked me to get back in touch with him in regards to any of the fandoms that I know of, the fandom groups that I know of, so he can add them to the list of fandom groups in the area, so we could be a part of this Virginia history, you might say. But with that being said, we topped off the whole weekend being at Dr. Madbud's 50th anniversary. We were on the taping of it. And of course, some of the same old people that were there were also at the taping. But with that being said, we had a great time. We bought some things from Mr. Rob Ash, which I thoroughly enjoyed. He had great customer service, by the way. And I'd like to shout out to Miss Liz. She came out to the table and helped out a little bit, and then brought some candy and helped give away. So I just wanted to shout her name out to say thank you. And then, of course, thank you, Mark and Miss Vonda, for coming out and hanging out with me and representing as y'all always do. And, like me and Lair were talking, he tried calling me later near the end of the day, and we kind of like to check in with each other, but I was so busy because I didn't get a chance to talk to him. But yet what was so cool, guys, is that even though we were all kind of sort of separate, we still were able to try to check in with each other to say, hey man, how are you doing, how are you feeling? And when I think back to that panel about the history of the fandoms, it was about friendship, it was about family, and it was that closeness, that bond. So great weekend, and I'm looking forward to this upcoming weekend, but I guess we can talk about that later. But thank you guys for letting me share what's going on.
Absolutely. Thank you for letting us know. I did take quite a few pictures as well. So I'm going to post up some of the pictures that I was taking over the weekend. Well, Saturday. Now, Rob, would you let us know your experience with the con? Because I didn't get a chance to talk much with you, though.
Well, Monster Fest is one of the few cons I actually get to take my business to and sell at, because it's one of the only free cons around here where they don't charge you an arm and a leg to get a table. And they gave us 2 tables. They gave us one for the Imperial Renegades and one for my Death Zone mass prop store. We go every year. Got a lot of friends that come out, say hi. We haven't seen in a while, and Monster Fest is like a way to meet them all again. A lot of new people. We were out there pushing our chili cook-off coming up October 26th at the table. We had a few giveaways, but mainly we were there to sell this shit. Every year Rob puts this on. It is a great event. You get to meet people you don't see anywhere else, like local, like Dr. Madblood, the zombie cheerleader, you name it. people you grew up watching late night Saturday night horror movies, you get to see them here. You don't really get to see them in any other ones. You get to see like the people from the horror movies, but you don't get to see the host of the shows here. And that's one of the things that's really special about this event. Other than that, it was great fun. Got to see people.
Awesome. I was going to say the idea that Dr. Mad Blood, and I didn't get a chance to see him, but Jedi Joe, I saw a few pictures that you took with him. So I thought that was kind of cool that you got a chance to speak with him. And I know he is, I want to say, I know he's not doing as well as he used to. So every chance you do get a chance to see him, it's kind of special now. Big L, would you let us know how your con went down in Myrtle Beach? Because I know you did a great job out there.
All right, guys. So yeah, we were down at the Boardwalk Comic-Con in Myrtle Beach. It was kind of our, semi coming out party, a little bit of vending. I gotta give a big shout out to Mike Larkin. Some of you may know who I'm talking about, some may not. But he was the one that I was working with down there. Of course, my wife and Jamie were with us as well. Abby and Jamie were down there. We were having quite a good time. We were having a good time. Seeing different cosplays. A lot of the people that were around us, it was the first time they were having it there, so they were a little skeptical about what was going on. However, everyone still had a good time. Everyone got to enjoy. I mean, there were some nice things to see. We made some good money. I won't say it was great money. I mean, we did get to sell quite a few shirts. Our number one producing shirt was, of course, Straight Out of Nightmares. That particular file I printed more than 10 times. And people were buying it, even though it was showing up a little lighter on the shirts due to it, the shirts not being completely polyester. Everyone that bought it loved the vintage look of it. In fact, everyone that come by said, "Hey, I love the vintage look of that. That looks amazing. What sizes and what can I get?" And when I told people, we could go up to a 5XLT, is what we had in stock, people were grabbing them left and right. So that was great to see. Jamie's jewelry was a big hit. She spent a lot of time making jewelry, so people were going through picking out jewelry. We had a few canvases that sold. Stickers. Our stickers were a huge hit. People were buying 5-6 stickers at a time. Finally got rid of the Jason Chubby 3D print. That was nice to get rid of. But overall, it was a very positive experience. Walked away from there with a lot of notes on things that went well, things that could go better. Mike Larkin has put together quite a few items that he's going to help Geek Fandoms NC with as far as investments and things that he can help stand the business up with. So I'm very pleased to announce that it's no longer a dream, but it has been put into phase 1 that we're not going to be doing just any shows and stuff. We will be doing New York Comic Con next year. You heard that first here. I am happy to announce that Geek Fandoms NC as a vendor will be at New York Comic Con next October. I was mentioning it as a pipe dream, being that Mike Larkin is from New York. He was like, "Nah, it's not a pipe dream. It's going to become a reality." So he is in the process of booking that. We're going to be booking shows basically from Pennsylvania and New York all the way to Alabama throughout this coming next few months and into 2026. We learned a lot of stuff. We got to talk to Mike about anime. We got to educate him on several different things, including giving him a crash course in furries, which he was ever so thankful to never hear of again. With that being said, guys, I got to tell you, it was a great learning experience, and we cleared about $300, over a day and a half. So it wasn't too bad.
That's awesome, and especially the exciting news that you're going to be in New York Comic Con next year, since this year it starts tomorrow, and I was looking at it, what was going on. So I am so excited for you about that going up next year. Uh, like I was saying earlier, though, I think we had a pretty good time all the way around. Jedi Joe did do one panel, which was kind of cool. It was, I know he said he had to pivot from it at first because it was just, talking about horror from the beginning up till today and what's your favorite thoughts on that. I know I enjoyed what you discussed, and I picked up a lot of different horror movies that I hadn't thought about watching. Jedi Joe, was there anything that you decided that you were going to watch based on your panel?
Yeah, Rob, you did it too. You put this in my head. So on Sunday when we went to WHRO, the station where Dr. Madblood was, they had a poster up in the thing that says "Something wicked this way comes." And then next thing you know, I saw your post about it. So I looked online. I've actually found the movie online, but then I even dug a little deeper and found it on Disney Plus. And so I got it on my queue here. I want to get my son to watch it with us because he kind of likes that movie. So I'm going to take it back there, Marky Mark. I'm going to take it back to the old time. I'm going to Something Wicked This Way Comes. So, yeah.
That's pretty cool. Now, let me just make sure. Bear with me for just a moment. So, like I was saying, I did get a chance to take some of the pictures that were there. What I did, I walked around and looked at the vendors. We got quite a few of them because they had quite a few vendors out there. Rob is in the background of this picture. He was right behind this table. Rob, did you do pretty well out there at the table making your sales?
I cleared about maybe $320. Would have made more if I had change.
Okay.
I got to where all my ones got gone, and I went around to other dealers to buy stuff. Every time I tried to buy something to get change, they were like, "Oh, that's all you get? You can have it."
Oh,
So
geez.
instead of getting change, I was getting free stuff.
Well, that's something. And here we got Jedi Joe as the Joker. And his Joker was pretty cool. I love the makeup. How long did it take you to get this outfit together, Jedi Joe?
Well, like I said, 2 years ago, I put this together, and I wanted to do the cross between the Jack Nicholson and, of course, the Jared Leto from Suicide Squad. And then I did not have the hat. So it was kind of funny. I was really nervous at that Fantasy because, I had to impress what I call my DC friends, which would have been you, Mark, Calibus, and then, of course, Big L. And I think Big L probably gave me the biggest approval because the man couldn't stop staring at me at different times. He's like, "Dude, you look pretty good." And I was scared to death. I mean, I was trying to, all I've ever been was a Jedi. So to touch into something different and in a different fandom, and not to say disrespect or to make myself look like a fool in front of anybody, that's what my goal was. So now I've tried to start improving the Joker, and and I couldn't believe it. I got so many compliments this past weekend. It was pathetic. And my daughter, she helped me with the makeup the first go around, and then I did the makeup the second go around. And thanks to Rob Floyd, he gave me the best recommendation as far as my white paint is concerned, because it just works better. But it was kind of interesting. I was cleaning up, I was picking up the table, and I had this nice lady to come by, and she says, "Did you win?" I said, "Win what?" She goes, "Did you win the the cosplay contest. I said, no, ma'am. I'm just a cosplayer. I don't really try to do stuff like that. And she goes, well, you should. I thought you were one of the best ones I've seen. And I was, just floored and said, thank you, but, like I said before, I won by everybody else's approval, to be honest, especially my DC family, because I know them guys, like you and Elle and Calibus, if I can't do something good with that around y'all, I know I would hear some stuff. So I would say, going back to your original question, how long did it take? I bet you I can get into the Joker within about an hour. And the biggest thing is the hairspray. God, the green hairspray, guys, is a pain, because once it starts to stick, it turns real hard, and it's a pain. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. But thank you for asking me.
That's cool. I was kind of surprised, Rob, you didn't dress up at all this weekend. From what I saw, you just had on regular clothes. Was there any reason you didn't put anything on?
Actually, I was just too busy bending the table. It was that busy out there.
Okay.
It was hard enough to pull away from the table when I did. Luckily, my boy came and joined me this year. One thing I enjoy every year at Monster Fest is he always makes a point of coming out and spending time with me.
That's awesome. Big L, I didn't see many pictures of you in costume this weekend. Did you dress up at all?
We did not cosplay this year, or this particular con, because it was just, we were so focused on trying to make sales as a vendor, trying to cosplay, and there really wasn't a lot of room to move around behind the table. Not to mention, you don't want to get up and leave when you're trying to sell stuff. So we made that mistake a couple of times where Jamie would get up to go to the bathroom, and we were running off of her hotspot. And of course, the minute she got up to leave, somebody wanted something printed and posted. So kind of, you learn your lessons. But yeah, we'll plan on cosplaying at a few more. It's just this was more of, we just want to get our foot in the door, basically.
All right.
Well, overall, it's not going to be our first outing. It's definitely not our last.
Well, before we end, I do want to ask you first, Big Al, what do you have coming up con-wise or anything else?
So we do have this coming weekend. We have Roanoke Rapids Minicon. Jedi Joe and myself are helping sponsor quite a bit of things at that particular con. Jedi Joe will be doing some lightsaber demos as well as building lightsabers. I will be the MC for the entire con with the cosplay contest. Jedi Joe has graciously agreed to kind of help me with that. Either one. And then other than that, we've got another few ones coming up in November. We have Lexicons coming up. We also have the Carolina Wine Mixer is coming up. We also have Charleston Comic-Con down in Charleston, South Carolina, is going to be very shortly. In November, we'll be up in Maryland at Maryland Pop and Horror Con for that particular one. So we're going to be up and down the Eastern Seaboard the next couple of weeks, moving around, doing a lot of things. So stay tuned and get ready to see Geek Fandoms NC bust out of there with a lot of new products, not just shirts and jewelry, but we're also going to have some 3D prints. We're going to have some laser engraving at the table. There's a laser engraver that is going to be shipped, so we'll be able to do laser engraving right at the table on wood and other sublimation areas. So we got a lot of things coming down the pipeline. I'm really looking forward to having a great outing overall.
That's great. It sounds really cool. Are you going to put that on your site, the website, so we'll know where you'll be each weekend?
Yes, everything is being loaded. In fact, there's a brand new website that is being parked this week that I will let everybody know about, so that we'll be able to, you'll have an entire calendar It's all being loaded into a doc so that you'll be able to go to the actual doc and see everything, where we'll be. You'll have addresses to everything, so you'll be able to find us and keep up with us. But look for us this weekend at Roanoke Rapids Minicon. Come hang out with Jedi Joe and learn some things about lightsabers. Come visit Jamie and Abby as they sell you a bunch of merchandise, and come listen to some jokes as we do some comedy cosplay, as I would want to call it.
All right, that sounds fantastic. Jedi Joe, besides next weekend's con, do you have anything coming up in the future?
Well, basically, as far as shows is concerned, Roanoke Rabbits is my only one that's booked. A lot of times when you get past Halloween, things get a little slow on the convention side as far as a fan group is concerned. But to be honest with you, I'm actually looking forward to this weekend. Just as myself and the Nerd Alliance, we're just kind of starting to gear up for next year. But basically, it'll be a quiet end of the year. But like I said, just to hang out with you guys and whatever we plan, hey, that to me is what's important. So I look forward to that.
Awesome. Rob, what do you have coming up in the next few weeks?
We don't have any cons planned, but we do have our annual chili cook-off at Oak Grove Park, October 26th. It is open to anybody. All you got to do is bring your taste buds and enjoy some chili. And if you think you got good chili, bring it out and see if it beats everybody else's. We do it every year. We have games, prizes, stuff for the kids to do, coloring contests and stuff. It's a fun little event at the park, and it's all free and just done to say thank you to the community.
All right. Well, I guess we're all looking forward to all of that going on this week, over the next few weeks. Again, everybody, I just want to thank you for joining us here at the Fellowship of the Fandoms. I think, especially with Big L and Jedi Joe, I hope we can speak with them again soon about what goes on this coming weekend. Hopefully they'll have some pictures to let us know, see exactly what happened. Anybody have anything they want to say in closing?
Yeah, I do want to mention one last thing real quick, and this is kind of a spoiler, and Calabar Rand's probably going to shoot me for doing this spoiler right here, right now. But next Tuesday night, I don't know how to say this other than I'm excited to announce that Amanda Detmer from the Final Destination movies will be in attendance on the Echo Chamber in a live podcast next Tuesday. And she and her team have agreed to do the podcast for us at no charge. So Amanda Detmer, if you know her from any of her movies or anything, she's going to be talking about Final Destination and what it was like to work on that movie, as well as the things she does now with underprivileged children, some of the new projects she's got coming up that she's going to be filming in New York City. So stay tuned. We're only going to have her for about 20 minutes, but her team was gracious enough to say, yes, Amanda will be more than happy to do the podcast for you guys. So the Echo Chamber next Tuesday night, Amanda Detmer from Final Destination. Tune in because it's going to be a great walk down a little bit of horror memory lane.
I'm actually looking forward to that. Thank you for letting everybody know. That is going to be fantastic. Calvis, you want to close us out?
I definitely do. I want to thank everyone for showing up tonight. I want to thank you for watching us and believing in all of our fandoms. You have been with us since 2020. This all came about when Jedi Joe had an idea of bringing the fandom together in a roundtable situation. And along the way, we've lost a few members. We've gained a few members. But the one thing that has still kept us going was the love of the fandom and the love of each other. We have become family. And Jedi Joe is always liked to say, families fight. We don't always agree, but we're family. And when the chips get down, we all come together to become that thing. Marky Mark coined us the Fellowship of Fandom. I think it is more fitting than anyone ever knows. We do have a holiday shutdown coming. I want to put that out there, but that does not mean that shows will be stopped. It just means that regularly scheduled shows won't be in these time slots. Shows still might go on. We will announce them as we go. We will do a Christmas special because, as my friends reminded me, the one friend that we did lose, who helped me push the Cosmic Portal to where it is today, he passed 4 days before Christmas, and it would not be the same without mentioning Gore's name. So I want to thank all of you for joining us. Thank all of you for going to the conventions and doing what you do, and still get up, get to work, get off work, and then come on camera to celebrate fandom. It is a job. It's a fun job, but it's a job. Okay. So thank all of you for joining us. Stay tuned after this. I believe, I don't think we have any scheduled programming, but we do have some programs we have to record tonight. So I want to thank all of you for joining us. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the fandom, the Fellowship of Fandom. I have to say that this show is a hit. Once a month, we will get together to discuss what we have going on in the fandom. And if anyone has a little special thing they want to do here and there, we're going to accommodate that as well. We are the Cosmic Portal, Geek Fandoms in C, Virginia Imperial Renegade, and of course, the main man himself, Jedi Joe, with Virginia Nerd Alliance. We have some other friends. I'm just waiting to bring them on board once they get their situations together. So, Mr. Lewis, Taco Cat, if you're hearing and watching this, PM me so I can put you guys in this. All right, guys, have a nice night. Live long and prosper, and may the Force always be with you.